Raj. Tune in to Championship on the Line for a tune-up.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You're now watching and listening to Championship Online Podcast. And today we have a very special guest here today. It's an honor to have her on. She's killing it and crushing it right now. You've probably seen her on so many things with Impact Wrestling, NXT, Shine, and Rise. And now recently, you've seen her on AEW crushing over there. Just recently had a match on Dynamite against Chris Statlander. It's an honor to have her, ladies and gentlemen, Amber Nova, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you for that introduction. I'm happy to come on and tune you guys up. Championship on the line.
Awesome. Yeah, we're so happy to have you. And so, how has life been for you? Especially it's been such a crazy, year of COVID and everything happening with the pandemic. How has it been for you? And has it been hard to try to be busy with the pandemic and everything?
Yeah, the pandemic has changed things. Before the pandemic in 2019, I wrestled in London, South Africa, and Panama within 6 months in the end year of 2019. And then, in 2020, when the pandemic hit, it really slowed things down for everybody in the world. And it's just tragic, everything that a lot of people lost. Happy that we're all healthy and here now. That's the positive. But yeah, it's definitely changed some things. I mean, look at just how even wrestling has changed, where you can't even have a live audience anymore. It's insane.
And in speaking of no audience, how's it been for you wrestling with no crowd?
I've actually been wrestling in front of crowds, luckily, recently, with AEW and others. But I have wrestled in front of no crowd, and it definitely takes away that excitement and thrill in it almost. There's a missing part. There's a huge missing part.
Mm-hmm. I would guess too, because it's the whole thing is trying to get the crowd reaction. And when there's no crowd, it's kind of, there's no reaction. So it's just
exactly.
And also, like we said recently, you were on AEW Dynamite with Chris. You had a match with Chris Statlander. How did all that come about? You going to AEW? Who reached to? How did that all start?
I've been in talks with AEW, and I know some people from back, when I wrestled in Impact, and eventually when I felt timing was better in the world, I reached out.
Mm-hmm. And then when you found out you were going to work with Chris Statlander, how was that reaction? What would you think of that?
Very good. She was very professional, great to work with, really strong. Bam. Obviously the outcome was not what we would have been expecting or hoping for, right? I mean, hoping, no, but I think AEW treated me very well.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I remember Rich and I were watching the match. I'm like, oh my God, hope she wins and kills it. But what you did kill that match, and it was awesome to watch you. And like you said, you've had a journey where you've pretty much been everywhere. You've done things at Impact and then doing things at NXT. Out of all those three combined, is it similar, especially the backstage, being in the locker room? Is it kind of similar, or is it a little bit different from being in those places?
Yes and no. There's definitely similarities between the companies. It's wrestling, entertainment, production, crew, a lot of similarities, but obviously it's different because you have different styles and people, and different companies.
Mm-hmm. And also too, because you've had a lot of experience being on TV too, but also, how did it feel to come out on Dynamite with a crowd and it's on TNT, everyone's watching? How did it feel to come out for the first time on AEW?
Oh, it was incredible. It felt great. It was my debut, and it was nice that it was obviously Chris Statlander's in-ring return, but Tony Khan saw me, he liked me immediately, put me on there, which was really great. I just hope that they will bring me back a few more times and really give me a few more minutes in the ring, some time to really show them my wrestling, my technical wrestling, and my ability in the ring. So that'll come in time, hopefully. But yes, it was incredible. It was Chris Statlander's in-ring return. And they really put me over nicely, I believe. AEW on their social media said that I was one of the top independent stars out there. So that felt really good.
That's awesome. And especially with, who do you want to wrestle? What girls in the AEW locker room do you want to have a match with?
Wow, there's a few. Thunder Rosa, I wouldn't mind the mechanic, versus the dentist.
No, that would be
Britt
awesome.
Baker.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, Jade is one of them for sure. Jade. Gosh, there's just so many incredibly talented women there on the roster. I think I'd have a lot of good matches with.
Oh, absolutely. Especially like I can picture you, Thunder Rosa. Oh my gosh, that'd be such an awesome match. But also, what are your thoughts on the women's division on AEW side with the product they're putting out there? What are your thoughts on them overall with the women's division?
It's great. They have a lot of opportunity. They're giving us a platform to showcase ourselves with the dark, with the elevation. I was on TNT. Mm-hmm. So, I think, they're really trying to give people, independent stars like myself, that platform. I'm very grateful for that.
Mm-hmm. And also, like, recently, AEW is doing, like, big things, especially with, like last week they did Blood and Guts,
Yes.
With that match. What are your thoughts on that, seeing that?
Oh, my gosh, insane. These guys kill each other. They are incredible. They are incredible athletes. The cardio that takes,
mm-hmm.
think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And also I saw a post that you put on Instagram, and it was with you and Sting. So what was that like, meeting him for the first time?
That was heartwarmingly amazing. I've been a big fan of Sting since I was a kid, growing up watching Sting. I watched a lot of WCW, which is ironic. I'm working with AEW. Like, it's a coincidence, I guess, kind of thing. That, AEW has more of a WCW feel to it than the WWF, WWE. So, mm-hmm. Yeah, I grew up watching Sting, Goldberg, all those guys. So I got to meet Sting my first night on TNT, and that was pretty cool. He's a really nice guy. He's a cool dude.
That's awesome. And then also, what was it like also working with guys like Tony Khan and like Cody? What was that experience like working with them for the first time?
They're such busy men. They have mm-hmm. a whole operation, a whole company to run. They're very busy, but the work that I have done with them, and it's been pleasant. It's been good. I just, mm-hmm. like I said, hope that they give me a little more opportunity to really shift gears in the ring and tune somebody up.
Oh, that's awesome. Alex and I, right when we heard your name in AEW, we were excited because we knew you're a rising star. That Alex, like, someone's gonna pick her up for sure. So it's awesome to see you. But Alex and I were real curious with your style. We love your style. Is there an influence or someone you watched growing up as a kid that you really liked?
Yes, like I said, Sting, Goldberg, Shawn Michaels, Luna Vachon, Medusa, AJ Lee, lots of similar styles to me, like obviously the Guerreros, Eddie Guerrero. So a lot of different styles.
And also, like, as a fan, like, growing up, did you ever like have like action figures or already played like any of the video games or anything like that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I had a couple of video games. I went to the live events. Dad brought us there. Had the T-shirts. Very cool. I still have like an original Sting, like Goldberg shirts and stuff. It's awesome. Pretty cool.
And growing up as a kid, was there a precise like moment when you watched it and you're like, I want to be a wrestler?
Yes. I grew up watching wrestling, and I always thought, man, I want to do that. I want to be these powerful, strong, super Nova, Wonder Woman, super women. And I just thought it never happens for people like me because I wasn't born in the wrestling family. I'm not rich. I didn't know anybody. So I really didn't think it could happen for someone like me. And I was a, EMT doing medical transport back in Beaufort, South Carolina, when I left that career to pursue this one.
Mm-hmm. And also, like, take us back to like when you're going to here we go.
Okay, we're here.
I lost you for a second. So take us back, when you first off, like, what school did you train at? And also, how was the training too, being in there for the first time?
I trained at a few different places here in Orlando, Florida. There's a lot of wrestling schools to get your like diversity from. So I'd hop around, but like one of my very first trainers starting out was Lince Dorado, who's in the Lucha House Party. Oh, and his training is intense. He is Lucha lit. He pushed me, and he's incredible. And I I had a few different other trainers, like I've trained with Loki before, Ivelisse Velez. I've trained with Hector Guerrero. I mean, Scott Hall's been a nice mentor to me. Larry Zbyszko's been a nice mentor to me. I've trained with a lot of different styles, and I took every little style that worked with me and incorporated my wrestling abilities for Amber Nova.
Mm-hmm. And is there any advice that they've given you that you keep still to this day that you still, use?
Yes. I just always work hard, hustle. Scott Hall's like, hey, just get yourself over it, kid. I take everything that I've learned to heart, many, many things.
Mm-hmm. And also, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead, Alex.
So how long did it take for you to finally get your first match? And then what was it like for your first match going out of the curtains for the first time?
Oh man, I had my first match it was almost a year after I moved, but a little less than a year, about 8 to 10 months or something. I took time off because when I first moved, it was really hard on my own. And I had to take time off and really get situated and get stable, having a place to live here in Orlando, and then could focus more on training. I was not ready for my first match, and I did not want to have my first match. I was practically pushed out the door. And because, I was very intimidated. Some of my first matches were up against girls like Mia Yim, Rosemary, Thea Trinidad, Zelina Vega. Those are my very first matches were against a lot of them. And I was like, I'm going to get up against these girls that are so experienced. And they were very nice with me, though. And they, not all the girls in the business can be very nice. A lot can be threatened and not be that nice to you. But they were nice to work with, and I learned a lot. And I was intimidated, obviously going up against these girls. So, some may have called me the bad guy or whatever, because I might have brought a couple tools out of my box, to try to win. But hey, what did Eddie always used to say? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah, exactly. And also too, when you came up like with the mechanic with that, what made you decide to work that and put that in your wrestling persona?
So I am really the daughter of a mechanic. This is my garage. I got my signature grease mat rags I make. I am the daughter of a mechanic. I drove a 73 Nova the last 10 years. I changed my own oil. This really is who I am. I come from a car family. My mom, working on cars with my dad their whole life. So it's just a part of who I really am. And my nickname was always Nova or Nova Girl. So it's really a part of who I am. I love classic cars. I have very big ambitions and goals and achievements ahead of me. I want to break the stigma with women and cars. I want to be in Advanced Auto Parts commercials, AutoZone. I mean, I can bring sponsorships to, let's say, if AEW wants to sign me a full-time contract, don't they need commercials and sponsorships? Don't you need someone that can back it up? I'd like to see one of those boys change their oil in an auto parts commercial, because I don't think they can. So
that's awesome. And then, I'll be honest, Rich and I were not really car guys. So, can you tell us what's the car behind you? What type is it?
Absolutely. And that's, you can always learn. My dad taught me. So this is a 73 Chevy Nova. It's got a 350 engine in it. My dad taught me how to change my own oil. It's my baby. And then the reason I always go with orange, a lot of people don't know, is not only is orange my favorite color, my birthstone's topaz in November. Let's see. My favorite childhood character growing up was Tigger. So I did like orange, but then come to find out, Chevrolet's original motor color is this hot Chevy orange color. That's the original color for Chevys, for their motor. So I stick with the orange color on my grease rags, my wrestling gear, tire marks, wrenches. I am, fast and furious, need for speed, ready to give a tune-up in the ring. Amber Nova.
That's awesome. And also, we were just discussing Eddie Guerrero. Would you ever come out of the ring with driving that car as an entrance?
Absolutely. It's like my dream. Are you kidding me? Absolutely. I actually have drove my car to the ring before for some wrestling events locally here in Orlando, but they were outdoor shows where they had I met where I first met Jericho, his band Fozzy was playing, and other bands. We had the wrestling ring set up, and we're all just out there in the heat wrestling all day long, match after match. And I drove my car to the ring a few times there for little videos. They're probably on YouTube somewhere. So that was good times. But no, I've never drove the car in an arena to the ring. It's on my to-do list. So
AEW, if you're listening, you gotta make it happen. We got it.
Yeah, Tony Khan, let me drive this car to the ring. Let me make you and that company some money. I'm talking, let's geared up. Let's shift gears. Let's partner with some auto parts commercials, some sponsorships. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I would love that. I would love to see that. And also because I was looking at some of your matches too on YouTube, and there's some matches like Matt Rakowski, you guys put on some killer matches.
I had a great match with Maddie in Texas at Hurricane Pro. I had a great match with her. It was about a year and a half ago or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was it like to working with her? And
I was really more experienced than her at the time by many matches and many years. She had not had many matches yet, but she had a really great trainer, and she trained at the Dog Pound with Jazz. So, she had good training, so she could pick it up quick.
Mm-hmm. And also, like you just mentioned too, like Dave Trinidad, having a match with her. What was it like too working with her?
Yeah, I was nervous. It was like my 10th match or something like that. Yeah, but it was great, and I learned a lot. I did. Mm-hmm. I think Larry Zbyszko was on commentary for that show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also, especially, now she's kind of a, like a free agent. Is that a match that you'd like to have too?
Oh yeah, if she starts doing matches again. Yeah, for sure. Round 2, let's fight.
And also too, you've had a match with someone that, because we're from California, and you had a match with Heather Monroe, who's kind of big in California. What was it like working with her and having a match?
That was a good match too. That was for Hurricane Pro, my first time working her, and I know she has experienced it. I haven't reached Japan, so that was great.
Mm-hmm. And also, tell us, you've done pretty much both of being a heel and then being a babyface. Would you like to be better, heel or babyface?
I mean, it depends who you put me in the ring with. Am I really that much of a bad guy, depending on what they do, their personality? So I'm going to say it really depends on who you put me in the ring with, what I need to do for my behavior. Do I have to use a grease rag? Do I have to use a wrench? Do I have to pull out some tools in my box to try to win this match? Just depends who I'm in the ring with.
Mm-hmm. And was it difficult? Because we've interviewed some other wrestlers, and sometimes it's kind of hard for them to switch characters or to be a bad guy. Was it difficult for you to make that transition, being a heel or maybe even a babyface?
I started off, cheating with my wrench and doing whatever I could to win against these girls that were way more experienced than me. So, over the years now, I'm more experienced than most of the girls that I'm in the ring sometimes with. So I want to say it's pretty easy to go back and forth.
Mm-hmm. So, the first time we saw you was, I think, Impact. So what was that like, also being in Impact Wrestling? How did that also come about, and also having your debut match with Allie?
Yeah, you're right. And now I'm in AEW working where Allie is again. And that was my very first TV match against Allie. And I got really great feedback on that match. And it was great. I mean, I got to work with Gail Kim. The experience was incredible. It was really great. My time was I had a lot of matches there, and I wasn't even signed. I was independent. So I was still working for other companies at the same time. It was really good. Really great experience.
Mm-hmm. So now, you've pretty much gone to different places like NXT Impact, now AEW. What are goals? What are the places you want to go, even internationally? What countries do you still want to go and travel and wrestle?
I would love to go back to Panama. I've been in talks with them. They are incredible. Panama, Japan. I'd love to go back to South Africa again, London. I mean, I've never been to Japan, so that would be on the list. Canada. Canada. It's not even that far. So Canada's maybe a little bit closer with this whole pandemic. Panama, Canada, just start a little close and then hop around. It's crazy with this pandemic, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And also, you just like mentioned like going to Japan. What promotions would you like to go wrestle there in Japan if you had the opportunity?
Oh wow. I've been looking into a lot of promotions. Obviously I've never worked for Stardom, which is one of the biggest promotions out there. Mm-hmm. Sonny Ono, and I've been talking with him a good bit, so we'll see. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome, because we just had like Sonny Ono on the podcast too, so he's
he's great.
He's doing some great things, so that'd be cool to. I mean, hopefully, I'd love you to go to Japan too, because I always hear good. Like every wrestler that we've had always says great things about Japan. So like even with the crowd and like everything like that. So, that'd be, hopefully you'll be there pretty soon. And also like talk us about also going to like, going to NXT. How did that come about, you going over there and having a few matches over there?
Yes. My first debut match was against Nikki Cross in 2018, and it was incredible. It was really last minute too. So I thought that was like a great match for me. My debut, and then let's see, I did a tag match versus two of the top women in Japan with Io Shirai and Kairi Sane, and my tag partner was Rebel, her in AEW, Tanae Brooks. So I had two matches in NXT. I've wrestled in Impact. Now I'm working with AEW. I've wrestled in 3 different countries. I'm really just trying to tune up the world everywhere I go. And I really enjoy being independent right now because I can get my name out there in so many different locations before I settle down with a TV company.
Mm-hmm. And also, like you said, you've been in all these places, but also, if you could give it, because we have listeners too that want to become professional wrestlers, what advice can you give to them that wants to be in this industry?
Oh, wow. So any advice to anyone that wants to be in the industry, I thought that I couldn't do it. And then I finally dedicated myself. It takes a lot of dedication and sacrifice. I left my career job as an EMT behind, all my friends and family, and moved to Orlando with nothing but a Nova and a dream by myself. And it's painful. I went from transporting paralyzed patients to then getting scared I'm going to get paralyzed doing this. It's dangerous. It does not work out for everybody. What you put in is what you're going to get out. So like, don't think you're just going to get into this business and make it on TV right away. If you want to be a superstar and you want people to pay money to come see you and you want to be like a Randy Orton, you got to look like a Randy Orton. So you got to put the time in everywhere it counts. Promos, gym, in ring, out of the ring, just, as much as you can. My whole brand, I built myself from the ground up. So I would say be creative, be unique, work really hard, be very humble and kind. Don't think anything is going to get handed to you. And, be realistic. My biggest advice is be realistic about this and, work hard, and you can definitely achieve what you're after. So, and then always keep the Nova drive. You got to drive. Nova drive.
That's awesome. And then like you said, with things going on with injuries, how important is for you to rest and also healing injuries too? Like, what do you do to keep yourself body and 100%?
Oh, it's really important. I in the gym, but then you need time off to let your body rest, your muscles rest. So I do hot yoga. Okay. That really helps my breathing, my cardio. In the gym, I go to my chiropractor as often as I can. Massages or hot tub spas. There's a lot of different workouts and styles of resting and healing and stepping it up. And yeah, it's a lot to maintain. And I enjoy every bit of it. I like a sweat sesh.
That's also good. It's like, like you said, you gotta look like someone's like Randy Orton. You are in great shape. So what's also like the gym workout? What is your routine? What do you do to keep yourself in great shape?
Like I said, thank you. Like I said, Amber abs, I do hot yoga. I go to the gym. I always do like my ab workouts, which is just a lot of leg raises, mountain climbers, things like that. Okay.
And, once again, we're getting close towards the end, but once again, really appreciate you taking the time to be with us. And real quick, we do a quick segment called Fun Questions for fans to get to know you a little bit better. So Is that cool? We do that for you?
Yes, let's do it.
Awesome. So, what's your favorite movie of all time?
Man, that's a tough one. I don't know. My favorite movie of all time.
You can pick more than one if you want.
Yeah.
I don't know about, favorite movies. Obviously I'm a car girl, so I like Fast and Furious, Need for Speed, Gone in 60 Seconds. I like car movies. I like action. I want to say, let's go with my two favorite. I really enjoyed Supernatural. I haven't seen season 15 yet. I need to binge watch it. But like Supernatural was a favorite TV show of mine. I don't know about movies. I love Disney movies. Love Disney and action.
Nice. And then, do you have any rituals you do before your match?
I have to eat carbs. I have to have like a sandwich with bread. Bread is a thing. That really gets me through. I'll pump up my abs a little, my arms a little. When I was working with WWE, I saw Shayna Baszler getting ready for her match. She was prepping and she was taking really deep breaths, really deep breaths back and forth. And she says it helps control your breathing before you go out to the ring, which I can agree with that. Like in hot yoga, we have to control our breathing, and they ask, they want you to only breathe through your nose, not your mouth. So I control my breathing. I want to say I have a little prep routine, something like that.
Okay. Awesome. And so what is your favorite? Do you have like a favorite music artist or a favorite band that you listen to?
Yes. I like rock and roll. I like country. I like pop. I like rap. But my entrance song used to be Machine Head by Bush. So I've seen Bush in concert twice in Orlando. And yeah, I love Bush. They get me just revved up.
Awesome. And do you have a favorite snack or type of food?
Bread. I love carbs. I like pizza, spaghetti, garlic toast. Broccoli is a good carb. I love broccoli, asparagus. I naturally eat really healthy, but my body can handle carbs. Those are my favorite foods.
Nice. And then also, do you have any hobbies outside of wrestling? Anything you'd like to do outside of wrestling?
Gosh, when I do have the time, I just named everything I do. It's usually the gym, hot yoga, podcasts. Okay. I love to play pool. I used to be really good. I don't play as much as I'd like to, but maybe I'm just saying that so I can shark people out there. I like to play pool. I love water activities, kayaking, paddle boards, anything on the beach, jet skis. I haven't been skydiving in forever. I've only been skydiving once. I love that. So yeah, I guess I like adventure.
Nice. And then with the last question, if you could pick a fictional character, it could be TV, cartoon, anything, and to have a match with, who would it be?
Oh, a fictional character to have a match with. Fictional character to have a match with.
It could be TV show, movie, animation, a video game character, anything like that.
Wow. Like a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah.
Could be like Street Fighter.
This is a question that people really think.
Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat.
Okay. Awesome.
I know I'm not naming characters, I'm just naming games. Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think of females. So the Mortal Kombat, like Katana, right? Melina.
Yeah.
I know there's Spider-Girl, Batgirl, Wonder Woman, but then I'm definitely going to be a bad guy, I guess. I got a wrench and I drive a cool car, She has a cheat weapon, the lasso.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been asked that. It's a good question.
That's why, yeah, because people kind of struggle with it. They're like, "Oh, I've never been asked that." Like, that's an interesting one, but yeah.
Yeah. Who would you guys think would be good against me?
Maybe like Wonder Woman or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, people struggle with this, so it's okay. But once again, really appreciate you taking the time to do this with us. Really have really fun. We were actually really nervous to have you on because I'm like, so we wanted to have you on. Any message to the fans out there listening, watching? Any message to them?
Yes, absolutely. So if you guys aren't familiar with me, Amber Nova, your American muscle mechanic, pro wrestler. You can follow my YouTube channel or look me up on YouTube, Amber Nova. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, it's Amber Nova 73, Facebook, Amber Nova 73. And follow my journey. If you want to get geared up with me, I've got handmade signature grease rags made by yours truly. I've got posters, photos. So you can either send a DM on Instagram, Twitter, or an email, Facebook as well. Reach out to my social media if you want to get geared up. And
also merch, pro wrestling tees, right?
Yes, I also have t-shirts on prowrestlingtees.com/AmberNova. I even have a new t-shirt graphic coming. It's gonna be pretty cool, so stay tuned for that. And eventually I'm gonna probably have an Instagram shop. I am in the making of a Patreon because I guess a lot of people want that. So maybe some behind the scenes of the car stuff. So yeah.
Awesome. And there you go. That will be it. And once again, Amber, thank you so much for taking the time to do this with us. Really appreciate it. It's an honor to have you on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and that's it. That's going to do it for us. With Rich, I'm Alex, and see you guys next time on Championship Online Podcast.
Hey, guys.